All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another webcast of Alexandra Mayers Live here on Periscope. I haven't come on to Periscope in a while, and today some things have been on my mind, so I decided to pop on real quick and say hello to everyone and share my thoughts about some things that have been on my mind and a new project that I am launching. And hello, Adam, how are you? How's everybody? I noticed that on CNN the other day there was a feature about a fairly wide range of Black people, and they were encouraging others to utilize the hashtag RealizedIwasBlack or the first time I realized I was Black. And at first I saw this and I was like, why are we going back into that mode in this political climate? But I know why. I know exactly why, and I decided I wanted to contribute my thoughts in regards to that because I've been toying with the idea for some time, but I didn't really want to, but just considering the point of realization that I'm at in my life right now, I'm going to go ahead and move forward with a video series that I'm putting together about my interactions over the years and my thoughts about white people. I don't hate white people, despite it all. And there's some answers that I hope to find upon the conclusion about, of this video series and project that I'm doing. Because there's just a lot of things that I don't understand when it comes to various white people that I've known over the years. One primary theme that I don't get about white people I've known over the years, whether they've been friends, enemies, just people I've been affiliated with, whatever, there seems to be this damn mean streak. And what is that? I have not seen this particular mean streak that a lot of white people seem to embody in other ethnic groups or other races. What is that? And it's not all white people, but it's American white people. I've known a lot of people over the years. And there is something particular to the American white person that can just be so goddamn mean. And it's sick. And I want to know what it's about. I was looking at my ex-best friend's Twitter feed today. And I don't talk to her anymore, but every once in a while I look at her Twitter feed. And this is a woman that I was very close to, and a woman that knows a tremendous amount about me, my family, and she tweeted something that was so freaking racist today. And I just looked at it, and I retweeted it on my Twitter at Alex Mayers Live. And I just looked at that, and I thought to myself, what is that? Why? Why would you say what you just said? So, let me just start with the point of this video. When I realized I was Black, I don't have a particular point that I can pinpoint in my life or a particular experience of when I realized I was Black. I think because I just always knew I was black, but I do want to share a few occurrences to where I realized how black I am. The first time I realized how black I am actually was when my younger sister was born. I was 4 years old at the time. It was the summertime, and I remember the whole process of my mother being pregnant. I was so excited for her to be born, and when she was born, I was excited. But I suppose that I thought that when she was born and when she came out, she would look like my little brown baby dolls that I had as a child. And when she came out, she looked white. And the reason for that is because within my family, we are a rainbow. We have a lot of different ethnicities in our family, but we do consider ourselves to be black. So when she came out and I saw her, it kind of blew my mind, because at the time when I was a child, I did not know that we had so many different shades of the rainbow in our family. And I saw her and I was like, huh. So that was the first time, because keep in mind, it was the summertime. The only black child I knew was myself. I grew up in all white neighborhoods. So when she came out and she didn't look like me, I thought, So that was the first time. The second time I realized that my skin set me apart from my peers who were not black was a time I was playing with different girls in the neighborhood. At that time, I must have been about 6 years old. And there was a girl, her name was Chloe. And I didn't know why Chloe was kind of mean to me, opposed to the other girls who were my friends, who were all white in this neighborhood. But she never said anything, but it was somehow I just knew that it was because of my skin color. Even though I hadn't been called anything racially derogatory at that point. And again, at that point I was about 6. Then at a point when I was in elementary school, I can't remember exactly what grade I was in, but I know it was the summertime. A lot of the kids in our neighborhood liked to play soccer. And I was always a very good soccer player. And there was a boy in the neighborhood, his name was Adam. And I scored a soccer goal on Adam's team, and he called me a nigger. I didn't know exactly what that meant, but just considering the reaction of others around me, I knew it was bad. I'm a very sensitive person, and I just automatically started to cry and I ran home. At that point, I wasn't feeling bad about myself. I just didn't quite understand why there seemed to be this hatred towards me because of my skin color. So time goes on. My parents divorce. My mother relocates my sister and I to South Florida, where a lot of her family lives. I was really excited about finally being around other black people. Probably shouldn't have gotten so excited, because that's when I really realized how black I am, but how I didn't know at the time how to be black. I couldn't win. Because finally I got to be around other black people, but I was told you act white. So you see what I was going throughout my life here, okay? Too black, yet not black enough. So fortunately, I make friends and everything. At this point in time, I was in 8th grade, about 14 years old, okay? Make friends. I was always a good gymnast. I was, so I got to be on the cheerleading team. I was always athletic. So, I made friends in sports. Always been an overachiever to a degree. Get on student council. I'm doing everything. Because I'm naturally a people pleaser too, which is to my detriment. But, you make friends. I learned how to be black. Things start working out in life, okay? But then I start realizing something about myself. And this is something that I've, I don't know what exactly it is. I'm trying to figure out things about myself at this point in my life right now. But I start to realize I'm not attracted to black males. Don't know why. And I don't think that it does have to do with having grown up in a white neighborhood. I don't think it has anything to do with feelings that I have about my father. I think that it is biological. But this is something that I did not disclose or share with anybody or anything up until this point in my life. Because it's something that I'm just now coming to terms with, and it's something I'm trying to figure out. And it's something that I hope at some stage in my life, I can find some peace with, which is why I'm talking about these things with y'all, perfect strangers. But I just know I'm not the only black woman on this planet going through these things. So if there's other young girls who might have had a similar experience to me, you are not alone, okay? So, I didn't really encounter any additional racial issues through high school or through college, really, or even when I first started working in adult entertainment. And I had other jobs prior to that, for those of you who don't know my history. My forte actually has to do with computers and electronics. That's what I went to school for. Didn't get a degree or anything, but I always had tech jobs prior to going into the adult entertainment industry. So when I first started working in adult entertainment, that was here in South Florida, okay? And South Florida is a pretty multicultural environment. And I didn't encounter any racism as an exotic dancer or as an adult model, because I did modeling and stuff too. Didn't encounter any of that until I went into the pornographic industry based in Los Angeles. And that was when it started getting really, really bad. And I'm not sure still exactly why or what the root of it was. It seemed I saw traces of it online after I did a few adult movies that have been released. But then when I left the porn industry and started speaking out, that's when it got really bad. And if you Google me now to this day and you see the level of hate and stalking and harassment that I and my family have had to encounter, so much of it is just so rooted in solid racism, like real anti-black racism. And one of the most hurtful things that I've been called, you would think it would be a nigger, right? But no. It's been being called a monkey. Specifically, a cross-eyed monkey. Now, if you just want to call me cross-eyed, that's one thing. I do have a weak eye. Nothing I can do about it. I was born that way. But calling me a monkey, that's hurtful. It's real hurtful. Because I know where it comes from. And one of my most verbal stalkers and critics and just haters even put on his Twitter profile about me being a cross-eyed monkey. So it's stuff like that that's leading me to put my video series together, which is no more than a self-exploration, really, in regards to my thoughts about white people. Because I think I've had a very interesting interaction with white people over the years. Some white people have been my best friends. They've been my greatest advocates. Some have been so supportive and really good to me. And not just me, but there's been white people throughout history who have helped my family in particular. My mother has had some really great white friends who have helped her. My father has had some really great white friends. My father's partner is a white man who has, I'm really thankful that my dad has found someone that has been so good to him and has cared so much about him. And he happens to be white, super white for that matter. He's German. So I don't have a problem with white people because I know that all white people aren't bad, just as I know all white people aren't good. But I just don't understand this particular mean streak that's in some white Americans who I've encountered and that I have witnessed do some horrific things to others of other ethnicities for apparently no reason. I need to know some answers about that. I really want some answers. I do find it interesting that I've known some whites who have been so great to me, but then on the exact flip side, maybe I'm just looking at the equation and the balance of life, because just as I've known some who have been so great, I know some who have been so bad to me. And I just kind of wonder, what is it about me that attracts this? Because just as there's been this individual, or really a group of them, who have called me a monkey, what's so interesting about that occurrence is that just recently I met a guy who basically is my ideal white male. Unfortunately, he's in a relationship. That's what I get. But this particular man, he embodies every single goddamn quality that I always wanted in a man. Plus, on top of that, all he's interested in is black women. But unfortunately, he's taken. I was like, damn. But again, this particular guy, and some of you can figure out who it is because I have an extensive interview with him. But he saw that people were calling me a cross-eyed monkey. And when he explained to me, he's like, yeah, I saw what some people are saying about you. I felt like that little girl again who was called a nigger for the first time, because I was so embarrassed that this guy saw that. because that hurt so bad. And I was like, yeah, you know, there's some people who really dislike me. And he was like, well, you know, if you're a monkey, then I guess that I'm a monkey lover, because that's all that I like are women like you. So I thought that was an interesting kind of thing in my life to happen. You know? So make sure that y'all keep following me on Twitter on at Alex Mayers Live, because I'm going to post a few videos over the next few weeks just about some various thoughts that I have about white people, my interactions with certain white people over the years, and some questions, I guess, that I have for why certain American white people seem to hate people like me so much, because it's something that I'd like an answer to, and it's something that I just don't understand. So that's it. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.